So hi guys, Rahul this side on behalf of Revsportz, alongside me Devashish Sen. Everything in all sport is going on in India, or you say in Europe or across the whole world. La Liga is going on, Premier League is going on, cricket bilateral series going on, the T20 World Cup next year, IPL next year, WPL next year. But still there is concern regarding the ISL, the this season ISL. Still, the ISL is in standstill, and we are still waiting for a clarity on India's top tier league. And the situation hasn't changed much, as it was few months ago, 2 3 months ago. The situation was very much same, and now also the situation hasn't changed a bit. And that's why we are doing this video to give you the latest update on the ISL and what the future of India's top tier league looks like, at this current situation. So we'll talk about that only. Let me tell you the current situation. The current situation, we all know that 20th December the AGM was held in Delhi, AIFF house in Delhi, the annual general meeting of AIFF, and we are all hopeful. We all expected that the proposal that was sent by all the ISL club, I mean not all the ISL club, 10 ISL club, East Bengal also, they haven't signed on that letter. The proposal was sent by 10 ISL club on how the ISL club want to organize the league. They proposed a club owned league to AIFF, and we all expected that AIFF will give a go ahead signal on that proposal. But multiple members in the AGM opposed that decision of club owned league. And now Kalyan Chobe, IFF president, has formed a fast track committee, two fast track committee, one for the I League, another for the ISL. And there are few members in that committee, and they will seek a resolution so that the league can be start as soon as possible. I mean, obviously this year there's no more chance of organizing the league, most likely from February or from the end of January. So I will go straight to Devashida on this. What do you think? What could be the solution for the ISL? And how the committee will work on to find a solution for the ISL this season.
Yeah, now we all know in the last general body meeting of the All India Football Federation, there the vice president of the AIFF did raise this point, and they have formed a three-member committee where we all know the representative from Goa Football Association, Kerala Football Association, and Indian Football Association, which will have IFF Secretary Anirban Dotto, alongside the likes of Dr. Caetano Fernandez of Goa Football Association, and the president of Kerala Football Association, Nawaz Murad. But assuming that when the deadlock cannot be broken in last 2.5 or 3 months, how can this committee, with just a meeting between themselves for a week, break the deadlock? So I really doubt. But I think where the AIFF does have a very valid point, where all the clubs, the ISL clubs, in their draft proposal to AIFF, they did say that they would like to run the league, but they will have a perpetual rights, subject to they will be giving the All India Football Federation an amount of 10 crore for the development of grassroots, which I think the AIFF has objected, and it is logical as well on their part, because see, in 2025, if you pay an amount of 10 crore, you mean to say that you can run the league perpetually every year by giving a mere amount of 10 crore to All India Football Federation. That is not viable as well. Means obviously with so to 2030, you have to increase that amount. So I think that is a very valid point. And another big concern where the AIFF does not wish to give away the football rights. They do not want to give away the rights to the clubs. In that case, the AIFF will be just mere to turn out to be mere onlookers, means just to oversee what is happening, because the club will decide how they are going to run the league. They are going to decide on the commercial aspects. So I think that is also not a viable option for the All India Football Federation, and that is the reason that they have have not accepted the draft proposal. But where will the deadlock break, Rahul? I mean, both of us are along the millions and millions of football lovers in the country. We just hope that the deadlock does get broken. But that looks a very very distant possibility. But even if the ISL start, that can only be possible for a February start. I don't see that Indian Super League starting in January. If it does start in February, I think there is a proposal that has been floated that three venues. The league will be completed in three venues because there will be logistical challenges. So I think even if the league ISL starts, which we hope, all pray for, it's going to start in February and it will be taken place in three venues. But the main concern right now is broadcasters. Even if the league starts, even if the ISL starts, who will broadcast? Who will telecast the matches? So that is also a big concern. And how do you convince the AFC, given that, how do you convince the AFC that if what number of matches given that the league is starting late, the ISL is starting late now. So how many matches do they require to fulfill the AFC criteria for all the clubs to qualify themselves for the various AFC tournaments? So that is also a consensus. But the biggest talking point, Rahul, to me is that if the clubs try to run a parallel league, is it actually viable? Because AFC, according to AFC statutes or guidelines, they will only go by what the federation run league is. They won't go by if the federation has no backing of the club run league. How will the AFC sort of give the green signal? So that is the biggest concern.
Yeah, obviously, I think that is the biggest concern. But at the same time, is there any other option? I mean, the AIFF has formed a committee, to give a proposal on a league structure that will be run by AIFF. Where AIFF will be the main body, and obviously club will take part. I mean, the different to what club proposed or all the ISL club proposed, they have proposed a club-owned league structure, but AIFF has strictly mentioned in the AGM that the league will be run by AIFF. I mean, according to the newly formed constitution. But at the same time, AIFF has failed to attract any bid, when they floated tender for the commercial right. So now the another big factor is the financial health of AIFF. Is AIFF capable of organizing a league of their own? Do they have the budget? Because they have released a budget they disclose their budget from month January to May, in year 2026, and already it has been revealed that they are short of 25 crore 88 lakh. I mean, they are already short of this huge amount. At the same time, we also got to know that AIFF have a fixed deposit of 50 crore, but will they use that money in this time of distress? I seriously, there are doubt. So when we are discussing about that AIFF want to organize their own league where ISL club will take part, also will have to bring in this factor of the financial health of the AIFF. Is AIFF capable of organizing a league like ISL? Do they have the budget? Do they have the capability to organize the league without a commercial partner? So I really doubt whether AIFF would be capable to organize a league. And obviously, what we are all expecting, the committee that has been formed, they will give a proposal of a league structure where they will demand operational fee, or I think league fee from all the club. I think that would be like how many? I think from 2 to 3 crore rupees. And also at the same time, they might also demand broadcasting fees from the club, because in this current situation, I think AIFF will also find difficulties in finding a premier broadcaster for the league. Obviously the club won't agree if AIFF broadcast the league in YouTube channel or channel like DD Sport. Obviously they will try to find premier broadcaster like Sony or Star Sports. But will Star Sports or Sony like broadcaster will broadcast the league will they broadcast? Because they will demand the production fees from AIFF. So obviously AIFF will demand production fees from the clubs only. So I really doubt whether club will accept the proposal that will be given by the formed committee of IFA secretary, and also from the football head of Goa and Kerala. So I really doubt. So what do you think? What would be the solution then? Do you think that there is still a chance of a club owned league? Do you think the proposal that was sent by all the 10 ISL club? Because what I have heard, that there is the sense of optimism among all the ISL club, 10 ISL club, who jointly signed that letter that was sent to AIFF and also the sport ministry. So do you think there is a chance of a club owned league, at the end?
Yes, Rahul, I really, really honestly feel that there is a very high chance of the league starting. I am very optimistic about the ISL starting and also the I League, given that the sports ministry is involved. And had it not been the involvement of sports ministry, then I could have gone ahead and said that it is not possible in this scenario. Then we might not see any football happening. But with the involvement of the sports ministry, I really really see, because sports ministry, the AIFF president comes from the same party. So you can assume that when the sports ministry has directed the All India Football Federation to start the league, Kolyan Chobe has no other options but to start the league. He has to start the league, given that means that because that if suppose the football is not it's not started, if we don't see football happening, then he might he might just lose that opportunity perhaps to retain his position in that AIFF president post, because we know that his term is ending in August next month. So I think that might be at the back of his mind. He has already started his homework, but I think the biggest hindrance, if for him to become to be reappointed as the president, will be if the league is not started. That might be a hindrance, because the club means, so the big main objective for Kalyan Chobe and the AIFF hierarchy will be to start the league, will be to start football, because it's not about one individual or two individual, Rahul. If you ask, if numerous footballers, means ISL footballers, have posted in
Yeah.
social media, the stakeholders, the ISL CEOs, the ISL club owners, everyone, means, and the fans and the common fans. So I think everyone, I think there's a bigger push in AIFF starting the ISL and I League, and I think it will start. And I am also hearing that the AIFF might waive the franchisee fee, because you know that ISL clubs used to pay a huge amount of franchisee fee, but given the latest scenario, I think the clubs will be asked, they will be offered to waive the franchisee fee. They might only be asked, as you rightly said, to give an operational fee of 2 to 3 crores per year, and also AIFF will also pay a certain amount. So let's see. One would rather hope that this three-member committee proposes a proposal that is agreeable to all the stakeholders, be it the AIFF, the ISL clubs, and also the sports ministry.
Absolutely. Last few minutes, as Devashish mentioned that he is very confident, and we are all, we are all optimistic that league will happen this season. But when the league will start, because a month ago or 2 months ago, when the tender was released, we are all hoping, we are all expecting that the league will start, at the end of December, or by first week of January. But now the situation is very much different, and now the league, if everything goes, if everything falls in place, then the league is expected to start from the first week of February. So that means we are not going to get full-fledged league that used to happen every year. I think it will be a league of 2 or 3 months. It will run till, I think, May. So it will be league of 2 to 3 months. So that means the club won't play more than 20 games as they used to play in other seasons. So obviously, I think there will be a single round robin format league. So that will, I think, already these uncertainty surrounding the top tier league of Indian football has already impacted the Indian football, in a huge manner, because our national team performance has deteriorated. Footballers are, out of action. They are not playing competitive football. Also, there are a few foreigners who have already parted ways with ISL clubs, and they chose to go to other league in other nations. Like recently, Javier Severio, the FC Goa footballer, the FC Goa forward, who joined FC Goa this summer, and now he's decided to part ways with FC Goa and has signed for a Cyprus club. He won't take part in FC Goa's next ACL fixture against Istiklol. And like this, we might heard many such news in the coming days. And also, what we are hearing that many clubs have decided to part ways with some of their foreigners, who have high budget, high salaries. So obviously, it has taken it has badly affected the Indian football, this uncertainty. So we are hoping the league will start in first week of February, but obviously, I think there will be I mean, this uncertainty, this whole uncertainty thing, which will affect the Indian football for the coming years as well. My last question to Devash is that, what will be about East Bengal if there is a club-owned league or whatever? Will East Bengal take part, because they have also opposed the idea of club-owned league?
No, I don't think so. That might happen. We might see, and there is a possibility, Rahul, if there is a truncated league with the matches not being televised, when there is a fair chance of matches not being televised in the premium channels, and then what happens? Means I see in that case a few ISL clubs, they just deciding against playing in the truncated league. Means which means if ISL do start, it will be a truncated league. It will be a truncated version. So I think quite a few clubs might opt out rather than they might just be part of a league which is a proper ISL league that goes on for 3-4 months, which has been the case for the last 10-15 years. So I think all clubs might not participate if the league is held in a truncated manner, or even if for that matter if it is not televised, because end of the day you bring in your sponsors just because you want more visibility for your sponsors. When the matches are televised, then only you get the more visibility. If your matches are not televised live, then you don't get that visibility. The televising in your app or in a social media channel won't give you that traction, that same traction if it is public televised in bigger channels like Star Sports or Sonny Leaf. So I think a lot of factors will go into this into saying whether we'll have a all participation, all the clubs participating or not. But I clearly have doubts whether all clubs will be participating, even if the ISL starts in February.
That concerning. If some of the clubs, decide to opt out of the league, then what will be about their players, what their players will do, and how they will earn, their bread and butter, because this sport is their bread and butter. So that really concerning. And we're all hoping that very soon we'll get a clarity on the top tier league, because this is, affecting not only the clubs but their footballers, their staff, their backroom staff, and their families, because this sport is their bread and butter. Already many footballers are protesting on the social media. Every day they are asking the same question, when the league will start. And we are all hoping that very soon the league starts, and again Indian football, come back, where it was previously, so that again footballers get to do what they, does the best. So we can only hope, we can only pray, because apart from that is nothing is on our hands. So we are hoping that the league will start from at least February. At least we should get a league this season. I mean, the football, should not stop in our country. So that's all we can all pray for. So that's it. That's the latest update, on the ISL. And whenever we'll get any update, obviously we'll share with you guys. So for that, you need to stay tuned to Revsportz for every update on the sports world. So that's it for now. Stay tuned to Revsportz. See you in our next video.